Uh, hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video, and I'm here to talk about the PlayStation 5 showcase that happened earlier today, which I'm going to tell you right here, straight off the bat, I really enjoyed that showcase. Thought it was great. Reaction, obviously, is up. You can watch a bunch of the highlights and the full reaction if you want. It's up on a channel, and I figured I might as well make a video talking about my thoughts on everything, because we talked about it at the end, but I thought I might as well give like a more in-depth thoughts and go through everything that was shown. But before we get to that, let's talk about the shit pre-order stuff that's happening right now with PS5. This is honestly the worst I've ever seen it when it comes to pre-ordering a system. It is the worst. It's ridiculous. GameStop site broke immediately. Best Buy broke. Walmart broke. Target broke. I think Target was the one that actually kind of handled it okay. All these places broke, and there's been a lot of talk about, oh, Sony has plenty of stock, you'll be fine. So I was like, okay, I shouldn't worry too much then, you know. Sony said they'll have plenty of stock. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I did try, and then I saw it everywhere, and every site was crashing. I have a lot of GameStop credit because I've been saving up to get a PlayStation 5, so I wanted to pre-order at GameStop. I had a chance to pre-order at Target, and I did try, but the site did crash. But then I got into the checkout way quicker than any other place, especially Best Buy, which, by the way, good shit, Best Buy also. Like, Best Buy usually is pretty on point with their site, but not this time. Oh, boy. You added the cart and it says, sorry, we have a technical issue. Sorry, we have a technical issue. I was on the website for two hours. 2 fucking hours. But clicking cart. I used like 4 different fucking web browsers. And I didn't want to use all like actual money for it. I want to use my credit, but whatever. I was like, okay, I could use my credit to buy a PS5 game, so that's fine. And I'm like, click cart, click cart, click cart, click cart, and it just kept sorry, to the point where I finally, I didn't get through. I got to the point where I actually had to pick my payment, and then it didn't work again, and then what happened? All of them went out of stock. I'm like, I was on it for 2 fucking hours. Are you kidding me? GameStop is even worse. GameStop's site literally thinks that you're trying to do some sinister shit, and it blocks you. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? It literally said, sorry, you have been blocked. From GameStop. You're gonna block me. GameStop, you're gonna block me. No, I fucking block you. Okay, anyway. So, the pre-orders did not work out. That is the case. Question is, after all that, did I get one? No, of course not. I didn't fucking get one. You think I'd be this upset if I got one? No, of course I didn't get one. Of course, fuck me, right? Everybody else got one, not this fucking fat bitch. No, I didn't get one. If you can't tell, I'm actually legitimately upset. It's a video game console. I shouldn't be that upset. But when I'm wasting my time for almost 3 hours trying to give Sony my money when they just they don't even give you all the info in their stream about like what's a launch title and stuff, and then they do this shit, which I guess you could say it might have been retailers that did this, but every retailer just said, nah, fuck it, pre-orders are going up today. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm sure Sony said, nah, fuck it, just release the pre-orders now, whatever. At least they said it was gonna be tomorrow. And maybe it will be tomorrow also. Maybe. But you know what? I'm getting flashbacks about fucking like 7 years ago where I had to wait outside in the cold in front of a Best Buy in the hopes that I get a PlayStation 4. Now, to be fair, that one was my fault because I didn't pre-order ahead of time when I could have. But I'm getting... I think I'm going to probably have to do that. I'm probably going to have to stand outside during a fucking pandemic waiting for a video game console so I can play Godfall. What the fuck? And PS4 games. And whatever. Fuck. Demon Souls 2. Demon Souls look good. Oh, and I have to pay an extra $10 now because fucking all games $70 now. Oh, Sackboy 60, $70 for Destruction All Stars, which looks like a $30 game tops. Okay. Anyway, rant over. Now let's talk about the showcase, because now I want to be happy because the showcase was actually really good, and I was really happy about it until 3-4 hours later when I could not get a pre-order because someone fucked up. As I should have just expected, but I thought this one would be better because Sony's been saying, "Oh yeah, we'll let you know when pre-orders happen. You'll know in advance. You'll definitely know. Oh yeah, we got tons of stock. You're gonna be good, fam. And maybe I will be good. Maybe tomorrow, people might watch this video on the 17th, and pre-orders are widely available. I don't know, but right now I'm really upset. I wasted 3 hours trying to get one, and if tomorrow they're widely available, they needed to fucking let us know. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be good." Anyway, it was either again a fucking SNES classic. Anyway, for me it was actually I went on GameStop and just got it. this wasn't, you know. And everybody talked about how SNES classic. There was like they had 2 in each store or whatever. Fucking a PS5, the new generation of consoles. Anyway, let's talk about the showcase now. 6 minutes in, we're talking about the showcase because I really did enjoy the showcase. Now. I'm going to go through everything that was shown, but I'm not going to be able to... I could have wrote down like what was shown at what here and there, but I was still trying to figure out a pre-order for the PS5, so I didn't do that. So these are going to be out of order, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, the first thing they showed straight off the bat, they had a nice little montage. Montage was good. PlayStation always has good montages, so you can always count on them for that. Can't count on them if you want to buy the fucking system, but you can count on them for fun little montages. Fucking Sackboy and freaking Girl from Horizon. But I'm not shitting on Sony really. I'm shitting mainly on all the retailers because I don't know if Sony said, yeah, put them up now, but like all the retailers said, yeah, we're going to put them up now. Sony must have gave them a go ahead. They must have. There's no way every retailer was like, nah, we'll just put them up now. Fuck it. Fuck Sony. I guess they could have, right? I don't know how it works. Whatever. Anyway, they showed off a little montage and it was a good like primer. But then right after that, boom, Final Fantasy 16, which at first when I saw it, I was like, because they had like a close-up of an eye, and for some reason I was just like, what is this, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider? I was mainly joking, but it was funny when it zoomed out, and it was a pretty little guy. I'm like, oh, it's definitely a Square Enix game. And I was thinking, even though this is Capcom, I was thinking maybe Dragon's Dogma, but it ended up being Final Fantasy 16, which was rumored. I saw a couple of rumors. I wish I didn't. But it would have been obvious after like you see the Chocobo and you see Shiva and you see all these other Final Fantasy things. So yeah, it was a really good trailer. I thought a lot of people have been talking about the graphics. The graphics don't look next gen really, and for the most part, it doesn't look as good as Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a little weird, but it looks flashier when it comes to the combat. And the combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake was amazing. But this one looks like it's like a Devil May Cry or like a Platinum game. And the story looks like it's really interesting. I like that it's actually a fantasy again, besides like some futuristic thing. And I also really, really, really like the not the story. The way they presented this trailer is really good. This trailer, I watched it a few times. It was very epic. And it didn't feel like a Final Fantasy. It felt like I was watching like a new like what like I compared it to something while I was watching it during I was watching a reaction. I was like, this is giving me like not Game of Thrones vibes, but like a Lord of the Rings thing or something. I was getting like this epic vibe from this trailer that it was really, really good. I actually loved that trailer after watching it a couple more times. I liked it a lot when I first watched it, but that was a damn good trailer. So I'm very excited about that, especially since it's the guy that wrote a lot of the really good stuff in Final Fantasy 14 and other like it's gonna be a well told story at least, because I heard that Heaven's Sword stuff or Heaven's Ward, whatever it is, stuff in Final Fantasy 14 is fantastic, and I would love to play that, but I'm not really an MMO guy. I would love to play it. Anyway. After that, they showed some Miles Morales gameplay, which I figured they would, so that I got right. I didn't put Final Fantasy 16, I should have, because I already knew the rumor was. I'm talking about my predictions. I did a predictions video a couple days ago. And I should have, because I knew the rumor, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. Miles Morales, so yeah, they showed some gameplay, which was awesome. The gameplay was really fun. I really liked Spider-Man, the PS4 game from a couple years ago. I thought it had a lot of repetitive elements to it, but for the most part, it was a damn good game. And this one, like when it comes to gameplay, I think they're doing a good job of making Miles Morales feel a little bit different just from the way it looks. So, and also the game does look better than Spider-Man from 2 years ago, which looked amazing. This one I could just tell from that intro scene, even to some of the flashiness later. It's going to look better, even on PS4, I'm sure. I mean, it's 2 years later. It should look at least a little bit better, right? And it's only a $50 game. So that's cool. So $50, I really thought it would be $60 or maybe even $70, considering it's a... well, we'll talk about that later. That's another thing that pissed me off. But it is not. It's $50. It is $70 if you want the combination of Miles Morales and the remaster version of the game 2 years ago. But I feel like that's actually not a bad deal. $70 for a remaster, and they said it was actually going to be a legit remaster. Like they're putting ray tracing in it, and they're really updating it. And of course, Miles Morales, which I'm sure will be a substantial enough game. I'm sure it'll be like 15 hours long, which is good. I think that's how long Spider-Man PS4 should have been, honestly. But yeah. So yeah, Miles Morales looks good. I'll probably get that on PS5 if I can fucking get a PS5. Anyway, so yeah, Miles Morales. There you go. Next, I think, was Hogwarts Legacy, which is the new... That's what it's called, right? Hogwarts Legacy? The Hogwarts game. The new Harry Potter game, which I know a lot of people are shitting on Harry Potter now. Not because of Harry Potter itself, but because of J.K. Rowling, which is... I totally understand. And I know some people are shitting on this game, even though I don't think it has anything really to do with her. I mean, obviously it does, but I don't think she has any hearsay in this. I could be wrong. Maybe she does. That'd be a little... If she does, then but the game itself looks fun. Avalanche has burned people in the past, though. Like, I was looking for that Mad Max game, and I thought it was fine. It was fine. Just Cause 4 I thought was not great, personally. I only got a few hours in, and I was like, done. I really didn't like it. They need to update their gunplay in that game, because it is bad. In my personal opinion. If you like it, that's fine. I mean, I know the destruction and the tornadoes in that game are the big thing for that. But what else? Rage 2 was fun. It was fun. It had some good combat, but there was a lot of missing potential there, that's for sure. Rage 2. Did I say Rage 1? Rage 2. That was Avalanche, right? Yeah, it was. So I'm a little scared just because their pedigree has been a lot of 7 out of 10s so far, and I'm a little worried this is going to be a 7 out of 10. But the gameplay they showed looked pretty good. There was like some good like third-person combat and stuff. Like it's like almost a shooter, which kind of reminds me of those Harry Potter Deathly Hallows games, which I played back in the day. I think I reviewed those too. Yeah, those games sucked, but it looked way better, and it looked graphically pretty good. I mean, it didn't look amazing. Some of the character models were a little stiff, but I expect this to be one of those games where they started it back on the PS4 and Xbox One, and it's just moving over to the next-gen console, so I'm not expecting it to look exactly like a next-gen game. Also, it probably won't come out until like late next year, so it could look better. It did look fun, though. I'm actually looking forward to that game. I'm not like the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I do like the series. Yeah, anyway, I believe next was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. They showed a nice little trailer. There was like some Sniper Elite stuff going on, where you shot somebody and kind of like went with the bullet. I'm sure that's not going to be a gameplay feature. There's like some sliding in there, which I know Call of Duty has had sliding before while you're running. But this one felt like a little bit different, but I haven't really played too much of the futuristic ones in the past. I played Advanced Warfare or whatever, but I don't remember too much. I played Black Ops 3 too. I'm sure there's a slide, but that one just felt a little bit different, you know what I mean? Even though it's set in the 80s, like there's still futuristic tech, like that RC car that can go faster than regular cars. Like, I don't know, maybe they had that in the past. I don't know. It's exactly what I thought it would be. Even though it's set in Cold War, it doesn't really matter. It's still going to be another Call of Duty game. I'm just looking forward to it because the Black Ops games, besides maybe 3, have the best stories, I think, in Call of Duty, and the best characters, mainly because Frank Woods. I love Frank Woods. And he looks like he's still great, and that trailer was good. Alright, so here's where it's going to get sloppy when it comes to, like, in order. I don't think I'm going to get this in order, but Deathloop, let's just talk about that. Sadly, that is not a launch game, but to be fair, we actually have plenty of launch games now. We'll talk about that later. But Deathloop looks amazing. I'm still confused on how the female character that's supposed to assassinate your character works. Like, I'm sure it's multiplayer, but how does it work? Does she just show up randomly like halfway through the game, or is she there from the beginning killing you? And then you have to keep going back. I don't know if they explained it They definitely didn't explain in this trailer. But I don't know if they explained it in interviews before. But we have plenty of time now because it's not a launch game. It's coming out second quarter next year. I'm very, very excited for that game. If that was launch, I would be even more pissed that I don't have a PS5 pre-ordered right now because that game looks awesome. I love the Dishonored games, even though I never finished 2. So I guess I can't say that. I love Dishonored 1. I could say that. Dishonored 2 I got like halfway through, and it came out like the wrong time for me. Like the last few years I've just been in and out of gaming when it comes to like playing. I don't know. Back in like when Dishonored 1 came out, around that era, shit, I used to play everything all the way through 2, baby. But that is not the case anymore, sadly. But Dishonored, I would love to go back to Dishonored 2. Maybe I'll do that if I don't have a PS5. I'll just go to Dishonored 2 and pretend like I'm playing. Well, I guess this game wouldn't be out by then anyway. Deathloop, I'm talking about. It is still console exclusive for a limited time at least, but it's coming out next year. It looks great. Next is Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Again, this wasn't shown next. I'm just going by what I have written down. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition has Virgil. The least said about that, the better, because I feel like that's a huge spoiler for Devil May Cry 5 itself. Again, you can kind of see it coming. I never finished Devil May Cry 5 myself, but I've seen pretty much all the cutscenes, and yeah. It's, like, I've gotten really far. I was like the last couple of chapters, I think. I need to just go back and finish it, but I think at this point I might wait, because it's also coming to Xbox Series X, and I think I'll be able to at least get that. I'm going to try to get that payment plan thing, and hopefully, because we have a whole week to wait until that happens, I'll have plenty of time to, and GameStop will have plenty of time, and Best Buy and Walmart and Target will have plenty of time to work out their shit so I can go get that. Hopefully that, at least I get that. Please at least let me get the Xbox. It's like I wanted the PS5 so bad. At least let me get the crumbs, the Xbox Series X. I mean, I can't fucking get that. Fuck it, whatever. Just whatever. I guess I won't be playing fucking shit. I guess whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Most games will come to the PS4 and Xbox One anyway. But whatever. I won't be able to play Godfall though. What a fucking shame that'd be. Anyway, it looked really good. I really liked that it seems like it's really taking advantage of the new console because there's times where it looks like as Virgil, you're fighting like 20 enemies at once, which you didn't really do in Devil May Cry 5, unless I'm forgetting, but I don't think you fought like 20 to 25, maybe even 30 characters at once. So it's taking advantage of the extra hardware. One thing I heard recently, though, is that it is targeting 60 frames in 4K, I think, or 30 frames. I think it's 30 frames in 4K, which is weird because the Xbox One X can do 4K 60. I know that because I played it with 4K. But it also is doing 120 frames, supposedly in, I think, like 1080p or maybe even less, which is kind of cool, actually. I think 120 frames DMC would be nuts. That sounds awesome. So I would love to try that. So maybe if I do get the PS5, I might get it on PS5. But I'm sure on the Series X it'll also have the 120 frames. So, and that might potentially be a Game Pass game because Devil May Cry 5 was a Game Pass game eventually. So maybe they can get that. That'd be kind of cool. Next was Resident Evil 8, a really awesome new trailer. They showed, I didn't realize this when we were watching it, but at the end they teased a new merchant in the game. That big fat dude at the end was not even like even thinking about that, but the whole vibe of the game is very Resident Evil 4, so of course you need a merchant. Yeah, that game looks awesome. I cannot wait for it. Demon Souls, I'm pretty sure that was not next, but we'll talk about that next. Demon Souls they did not confirm it in the stream, but it is a launch game, and if I get the PS5, that's the one I'm very excited about, because I'm actually in the mood for a Souls game right now, and I heard this game is fucking rough and awesome. Rough in a good way. Exactly what you want from a Dark Souls game. Demon Souls I never played. I played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Never finished them, but 1 I got like maybe 10 hours in. 2 I got like 30 hours in. And 3 I think I got about 10 hours also in. I did a gore plays for the third one. And I think like the first boss you fight, I immediately beat him. And I was like, yeah, I'm good at this game. And then immediately got my ass beat by everything else after. I'm like, oh, I'm not that good. And Bloodborne I played about... it seems like all the Souls game, I get about 10 hours in and then I'm done. Bloodborne, 10 hours. Maybe 15 with that one. Same thing with Sekiro. Sekiro was just like about 10 hours. But yeah, so Demon Souls looks great, and I'm very excited for it. That's for sure. All right, sorry for the little pause there, but I had to go get a drink. Anyway, let's continue. We just talked about Demon Souls. It looks great. It's gonna kick my ass. It's a launch title, and it's also $70, which is I don't know. We'll talk about it after all this, but yeah. I mean, of all the games they showed, Demon Souls being 70, I'm not too upset about because I mean it's an old game. You could say that, but it's also a remake from the ground up, and it does. Of all the games they showed, look the best when it comes to graphics. And it looks like it's going to run very smooth. Anyway, I know some people didn't really care for it, too, because of the way it looks. You know, in my reaction, you hear somebody in the background talk about how they don't like the way it looks stylistically compared to the original, because the original had its own look. But even the guy in my reaction, Kyle, he even admitted, oh, it looks good. It just doesn't look like what he wanted it to look like, I guess. And some people have a problem with that, but whatever. Anyway, Demon Souls looks great. It's $70. But if I do get a PS5, that's definitely being bought. They showed Fortnite. I'm pretty sure Fortnite was right after Demon Souls, which is a little weird. But Fortnite, yeah, they showed Fortnite. It's coming to launch, so of course it is. No surprise there. I'm sure it's coming to Xbox One, Series X, 2, or what's it called. They showed a new Five Nights at Freddy's game, which actually, I'm not really a big fan of horror games when it comes to just being jump scares. Like, I love Silent Hill, I love Resident Evil, but those aren't just jump scares. They're setting a mood and stuff, which, don't get me wrong, Five Nights at Freddy's definitely does, but there's a lot of jump scares. I think I played one Five Nights at Freddy's once. I think on this channel or another channel. I used to have another channel where I did gore plays, and I just moved over here because I don't do enough gore plays for it to justify a whole new channel. Even though I guess I just did like a couple in the last couple days. Yeah. So I played one. I didn't really care for it. I think I played another one somewhere. But it's one of those things where I played a bunch of like copycats, I guess. But I played the original Five Nights at Freddy's for sure. And I get it. I totally do. It's fun to watch people play that game. It's just not really fun to play it, in my personal opinion. That's my opinion. Please don't hate. But that game looked nice. It looked graphically really good. And I do know the story, the lore behind Five Nights at Freddy's is really cool. So, and that game looked good. Security Breach it was called. So, I don't know if it's going to be like a launch window game or if it's coming like long after launch, or I know it's not a launch game, they didn't confirm it, so I'm assuming it's not. But there you go. So Five Nights at Freddy's, Security Breach. I believe this is when we got, because we talked about everything. I might have missed one thing here and there. I'm not too sure about that. I don't think I did. But I think this is where we get to the PS Plus collection, which I thought this was a really cool announcement. A lot of people are blowing it up as if this is like the Game Pass of PlayStation, and oh, watch out, Game Pass, you're done. And it is really cool. I think it's awesome. I really do. I'm very happy it's happening. Problem is that I don't like Game Pass. The cool part about Game Pass is that every first party game from Xbox, and I know there's not many now, but there will be in the future. They bought like 25 studios, so there definitely will be in the future. Unless they bought them and said, fuck it, throw them away. All those will be free. Where this is all old games. Most of them you can get for like $10 or less at a GameStop. You can get Final Fantasy 15 for like $5 at a GameStop. You can get Resident Evil 7 normal for like 10. Like these are all really cheap games. God of War you can get for 10. They have like the greatest hits selection almost all the time on sale for like $10. Like I know they're normally 20, but you can get them for 10. Persona 5 Original is 10. Like that shows you right there that they don't want to give you like the expensive games for free. They want to give you the cheaper ones. Royal would be cool. 5 is not because it's a $10 game. It is still awesome though, especially since they'll play better. And there are some really good a great selection of titles there. Like Last of Us Remastered, I would love to play on a PS5. I'm sure it'll even run even a little bit better on PS5. I would love to play God of War again. I would love to play The Last Guardian finally. I got halfway through that game and just stopped because I wasn't exactly enjoying my time gameplay wise. And I didn't get to a point in the story where I'm like, yeah, now I'm hooked. You know what I mean? So that's a game I would love to play now because it's probably gonna have a little bit less problems with its frame rate. It had a lot of problems, and that's mainly because I had a regular PS4. But yeah, and I think Detroit's coming to it too, which is funny because we have to play that for our podcast next week. So we're gonna play it now anyway. But still, it's cool that that's coming. So maybe I'll play it one playthrough right now, and then when the PS5 comes out, if I fucking get it, maybe I'll play like all the other playthroughs or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, the PS Plus collection I think is awesome. It's a great benefit, but I don't think it's as good as Game Pass personally. And you can call me Xbox fanboy. I've been talking about how I've loved PS5, and I've been hyped for it for a long time. I think the DualSense looks awesome. I think of the two consoles, I think the PS5 is definitely the better deal right now. But I think Game Pass is a better service. And you can say, well, doesn't that mean Series X is a better deal? No, because most of the games that are going to go to Series X are also going to the Xbox One S, regular, and X. So I don't believe it's a great deal. I'm gonna get it anyway though, because I'm a fucking idiot. Well, I'll try to if these retailers will let me. Please let me purchase, please. Anyway, so after that, they showed the PS5 price. Of course, it's $499 for the regular and then $399 for the digital. That's what I predicted, but I think most people were saying that. Some people were saying maybe $450 for the digital because a disc drive isn't really that expensive, but it makes sense that they go for like a solid $399 besides a $449. That'd be kind of weird. Some people were expecting it to be the same price as the Xbox Series X when it comes to its digital thing, but you also have to remember the Xbox Series S is also just a way, well, not way, but less powerful than the Series X, so that's why they can get away with that being $300 over $400. The PS5 digital is the same exact console, just no disc drive. That's the only difference, is the disc drive and the price, I guess. So the price is great, and it comes out 2 days after the Xbox Series X on the 12th of November. That's insane. That week is going to be nuts when it comes to games. If I can get both of them, that'll be a really fun couple days. 10 to the 12th will be fun. I always love opening a new console, and I would love to do a video for it. I'll probably do a nice little like video where you can see like double image, kind of like what I did with The Last of Us Collector's Edition and Doom Eternal Collector's Edition. I'll probably do the same thing. And so that is it. Then announce anything else. That was the end. Nah, I'm just kidding. At the end, they announced God of War Ragnarok, or God of War 2. It's good that they don't call it God of War 2, because then it'll just get confusing, because it's like it's not a remake. So why is it called 2? You know? So God of War, it seems like the title is going to be Ragnarok, and we got what we expected. I think I even said that you'll just hear like Kratos talk, maybe see his beard. I think I said in my predictions video, which you didn't see that. I was mainly joking. Yeah, they just show his beard. Like, that'd be kind of cool. It's just the beard. Look at the follicles. Look at the graphics. And this is what I did not predict this. 2021 release. We are 4 months away from 2021. So it could come out anytime, 2021. Obviously, it won't be until like November next year, but still. I'm excited. I'm excited for that, because I know a lot of people think I hate God of War because I booed it a couple years ago, jokingly. I keep getting comments about that. This guy booed God of War for winning Game of the Year, even though I was joking. If you watch my fucking reaction, you have seen that. I literally, immediately after I booed, I was just like, nah, that's cool. I'm just joking. I'm happy for it, I think I said even. Because I love God of War. I love it. I really do. I'm talking about the series itself. I love the new game too. I didn't finish it until this year, but and I loved it. I knew I would too. I just never got back to it because, like I said, gaming hasn't been should be my hobby. It just hasn't been. I've just been very in and out. So yeah, I'm happy. God of War 2, baby. That's awesome. But I do want to talk just real quick about the pricing. The pricing, $60 is too much for games, I think. I understand that it costs a lot of money to make some games, and I totally understand that. I really do. I really, really do. But $60 I thought was too much still. $70? $70. You have to realize that means Madden's going to be $70. and they don't do shit every year for that series. I mean, like, this year they didn't do a damn thing. I know COVID's going on, but that's really no excuse. They should delete it, if anything. NBA 2K20 I heard was garbage. That's going to be 70 next year. 2K21 I should say. So 2K22 will be 70. What else? The next Call of Duty that's going to be only on next gen most likely is going to be $60. Or $70. Sorry. A lot of them are going to be 70. Now that's actually not 100% the case. Obviously, like Miles Morales is only a $50 game, which I assume it would have been a $40 game if the price hike didn't go from 60 to 70, but it went to 60 to 70. So I guess that game might have been 40 before, but it went to 50 because I don't know. That's not exactly the case because I know Sony said first party games will definitely be 70, but I'm pretty sure like Godfall I think is going to be $70 game. And that's not first party, and that being a $70 game is ridiculous. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if that's confirmed. That is also a launch game, by the way. Godfall. We all knew that was going to be a launch game. I don't know. I don't know about the $70. I think it's way too much. I really do. I think it's way too much. And I wish we just stuck to 60. I think it's too much for 60, but 60 would have been like I already got over it. I mean, it's been long enough for me to get over it, but it's just 70 is fucking way too much. Just think, in 25 years, if the world is even still here, if the sun hasn't exploded and consumed us, we might be up to $100 per game. Shit, in 10 years we might be up to $100. I mean, we already are with some fucking editions for games, like $100 and you get like a shitty 20 minute DLC or some shit. It's just like, oh, get the season pass, which will include a bunch of DLCs that will be mediocre. Like, it's fucking, I don't know. I don't want to be cynical, but I just don't think it's worth $70 most of these games. Like, especially like what is it, Destruction All Stars? That game looks fun. It's like that Rocket League kind of game, but $70 for that is absolutely ridiculous. $30, $40 tops. $70? As the British would say, you taking the piss? Because that's fucked up. They wouldn't say that part, but I think $70 for stuff like that. Like Sackboy, that Sackboy game looked like a $30 game. $60. At least they didn't make it 70. I bet that's their excuse. Like, well, I mean, it's only 60. That should be 60 2 years ago, let alone now. That should be a $40 game tops. So that means Ratchet and Clank will be a $70 game, most likely. I mean, it looked good, but it's going to be a 6-hour, 7-hour game, most likely. And I don't think it's got a multiplayer. Just think about all the games that have barely any content that will be $70 just because it's Sony first party. But anyway, the launch lineup does look really good. Godfall looks like it could be okay. Sackboy looks like it could be fun. That's a launch game. The Destruction All-Stars look fun, but I don't know if I'm getting it for 70. I don't think so. I don't think I'm getting that. Unless it gets like really good reviews. Demon's Souls looks great, and Miles Morales looks great. So yeah, it has a really strong lineup of games. Bugsnax I think is going to be a launch game too. So hey, talk about Bugsnax. You know I want to. But yeah, so it has a great launch lineup. But anyway, that is the PS5 PlayStation showcase. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts, I guess, and my little rant at the beginning for the PS5 pre-orders. There you go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Until next time. And of course, tell me in the comments below what you thought of the PS5 showcase. I liked it. Again, I'm just really depressed and disappointed right now that I've been excited for the PS5, and I tried. I tried really hard too. I don't know.